Hey you guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel where I hope you guys stay uplifted, motivate you, and find peace amongst yourself. So if you're interested in these type of videos, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up by leaving a like. Make sure you're commenting down below and make sure you're subscribed by turning on your notification bell if it's not already. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, you guys. It is, what is today's date? Today is Monday. I don't know why I was about to say Wednesday. Today is Monday, October 11th, 2021. And you guys, I am really tired this whole day. I've just been really like drowsy. I don't know if I'm sick. I don't know if I'm really tired. But like, if you guys been tired recently, once again, the whole braids, and Gatorade, I don't know about astrology, because if you guys been affected by the moon or whatever, comment down below because I'm just extremely tired. So today is not Wednesday, today is Monday. Happy Monday. I hope you guys been enjoying your evening so far and have been very productive. Usually you guys, I wake up every single day around the same time within 6 a.m. no later than 8 a.m. But today I woke up around 6 and 8 a.m. and I just been sleeping all day. Like, I can do that though, of course. I'm self-employed. I work for myself, so but that's how my day is starting. It's 5:18 p.m. So I hope you guys are enjoying your week. I hope you guys' day has been productive. I hope you guys have been practicing daily, drinking your water and taking your vitamins and just reflecting. So welcome back, as well as following me on my Instagram and my Twitter at Ty_guidance and on Facebook at Talks with Ty to stay up to date. And all of the information will be down in the description box below. So those of you who are new here, hello. Thank you guys so much for having your notifications on. I'm about to burp. Excuse me, you guys. I'm just tired. I look tired, you guys, but it's okay. It's okay. Thank you guys so much for having your notifications on, as well as searching my name. I've been recently seeing you guys has been searching my name. Thank you. Make sure you leave a comment, like leave some feedback if you like something, if you think I could do something differently. I love constructive criticism. I feel like if I can suggest and advise information to people, I should be able to retain and understand and know that people may appreciate, of course, as long as it's, actually accurate or it's productive or it's influential or inspiring for me to do better. So just leave a comment, like the video, even thumb down the video if you didn't like it. Tell me something that you didn't like or something you feel like I can incorporate. Now, of course, when it comes to suggesting advising information, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. And that's the same thing for you guys. So if somebody gives you constructive criticism and it's actually productive, meaning it can help you, inspire you, or uplift you, go ahead and let it resonate. If it's somebody just being rude or disrespectful, you don't have to take it personally, or you don't have to take it to heart. So something that I like to do for my videos, for those of you who are new here, who are just casually stopping by, something I like to do is I like to look up keywords from the title/topic that I make for you guys. And of course, I make all of my videos. I record all of my videos. I edit all my videos, one man sound show. So I like to break down keywords and I like to define them by using a dictionary and thesaurus. Sorry, you guys, I had some bread. I'm just making sure that it's not in my teeth. But the reason why I like to break down keywords and define them, not only to inform you guys, but to educate you guys. Once again, this is a channel of me being a healer. So me as a healer, I don't tell you guys how to feel. I don't force you guys to believe anything. It's up to you to use your discernment or your judgment. So like I said, if it applies, to let it resonate, and if it doesn't, to continue to disregard or just take the information however you choose to perceive it. And because everyone processes information differently, I like to educate you guys by giving you guys factual information. Because other than just me speaking for my opinion, like everybody else in the world who has one, it does not make any sense for me to sit here and tell you what I think personally about you if it's not going to be helpful, if it's not going to be productive. Because that's like the same thing, like when it comes to emotions and healing, like one thing I never want to do with anybody, my subscribers, regardless of who you are in my life, is invalidate how you feel, because you're not going to invalidate how I feel. Like, I demand respect and I want the same respect for you guys. So once again, I use a dictionary, thesaurus, and I break down keywords to educate you guys, to refresh you, and to reassure you. So with that being said, for today's video, we will go over and discuss, how do you practice self-acknowledgements? How does one practice self-acknowledgement? So the words that I chose for today's video to break down were the words practice and acknowledgement. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start today's video. Okay, so how do you practice self-acknowledgement? So the first word that I want to go ahead and read from the dictionary and define really quickly is the word practice. So practice or practicing can be used as a noun or a verb. So to use it as a noun, when you practice something, you're using it as an application, an idea, a belief, or a method, opposed to theories to relating. So an application, you're exercising or using it. So practicing is when you are customary and having it to be expected or preceded a way of doing something. So when you are custom something and it's designed specifically, it's when you have a traditional or a widely accepted way of behaving or doing something that is specific, once again, particularly guys, I don't know what's wrong with me, particularly to society, a place, or a time. So when you have an application, you're having the action of putting something into operation. So when it comes to practicing, you're exercising or you're using a policy or procedure. So the word exercise is when you use or you have an application of a facility, rights, or you're processing, and the word use means to having the action of being using something or the state of it being used for a purpose. So now the word practice, something that you can do, and this is what we're going to be talking about for today's video, is to perform an activity or an exercise, a skill repeatedly, regularly, or in order to improve or maintain one's proficiency. So when you're rehearsing, you're going through something, you're carrying out. So practicing is when you carry out or you perform a particular activity, a method, custom, whether it's regularly or to perform. And once again, the word rehearse means to practice a play, a piece, or music, etc., or your work, for a public performance, as well as the word perform. Once again, performing is when you carry out, accomplish, or fulfill an action or a task. So the second word that I chose for you guys to go ahead and define as well is the word acknowledgement. So an acknowledgement is a noun. Guys, after this video, I'm going to go ahead and take my shower for today. Maybe after I take a shower with some steam water, of course, I may be able to get all the mucus out, because it's good to release humidity. It's good to release drainage in a warm shower. And then something that I like to do, this has nothing to do with the video, this is more so about me, something that I like to do once I'm almost done with my shower, like the last 5 minutes, I turn the water really, really cold and I just sit there, I just sit in cold water. I feel like it's really good, and I know a lot of people do that as well. I don't know the big difference between warm water and cold water, but there is a difference between the two temperatures, of course, but the effects of what it does. So the word acknowledgement, I just acknowledge how I take a shower, and the water temperature is when I am telling the truth or accepting the truth. So it's something that is existing of something. So to accept something, to grant, or to have some form of a mission. So when you're acknowledging something, maybe like an author or a publisher's statement, and typically when it's printed out at the beginning of a book. So how do you practice self-acknowledgement? I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know why my voice is getting raspy and what's the dealio? But once again, you guys, today is Monday. I guess it's just one of those days, you guys, where I'm just very I don't know, hopefully I'm not getting sick, because I'm the type of person that I never get sick. So if I do get sick, I'm sick for 3 months or 3 days or 3 weeks, you guys. I don't like to get sick. I'm very vain when it comes to my hygiene and my health. So taking care of my kidneys, my blood, my nasal, my immune system, that's what I meant to say. So drinking water, being healthy, constantly spraying some Lysol. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna check that out afterwards. So once again, what we're gonna be talking about is, how do you practice self-acknowledgement? So what I just established, me being self-acknowledged and practicing it, is being aware, understanding that what I lived through and what are my values. So how I just talked about me being, hopefully not being sick, or just understanding that my body temperature and how I feel is not, appropriate. In order to practice self-acknowledgement, you have to be aware. You have to understand what your values are. You have to look for ways, that you can understand and figure out how it is that, you want to do things. So when it comes to practicing self-acknowledgement, you want to make a list of ways that you lived out. So something that I tell you guys to do all the time is get a handy dandy notebook. Okay, it doesn't have to be fancy. If you want it to be fancy, you could decorate it. The more energy you put into yourself, the more the merrier. But like getting a notebook and just writing down how you feel, making a pros and a cons list, I suggest that to you guys all the time. So something that I do daily, I have to get a new journal soon, is for my thoughts and just writing out the dates and the time. And the reason why I'm specific of why I write the date and the time is so I can read out loud and understand where I was and how I was feeling, so I'm able to continue to understand like the longevity, because our thoughts and our emotions are always going to be active. So in order to like understand like and pin it down and see exactly what's causing us to be triggered or to understand them necessarily, it's really important to reflect on them. So just writing down how you feel can help you practice self-acknowledgement, and writing out what you've been exposed to, whether it's good or bad, because once again, good or bad is just you labeling it and attaching it. Like, it's not to invalidate how anybody feels, but everybody in life is going to suffer. You suffer based off of your resources, where you are geographically, and what you've been exposed to, and not allowing that what you've been through to hinder you or to use it as a crutch so you can move forward. So writing down, what you lived through, writing down your values, and therefore you have a general idea of what it is that you've been exposed to, because in order to recognize and to reach a level of awareness or to acknowledge oneself, you must have to, experience life, and knowing that it's okay to be exposed to situations that may not have been the best for you, and realizing how it affects you so you can move forward. So once again, when it comes to healing, you have to actually understand it's a process and it's a procedure. So if you were, cut, if you got cut, and then how did it feel to physically get cut? How did you feel mentally? What were you like after you were cut? And what did you do to heal yourself? And that's the same thing. And for the past couple of months, strategically, I've been doing my best to accommodate videos for you guys, specifically because I feel like, once again, like for me, when I first started making my videos, they were just general information, but I realized that if I'm strategic with it, for me at least, it helps me and help you guys. So looking for ways to understand yourself and acknowledging that it's okay that if you've experienced life, it's okay if you suffered, and that where you are right now is not where you were yesterday or literally 3 days ago, and understanding that our past is a moment that no longer exists. So realizing and reflecting. So when you learn something, acknowledge it, like rather it's been genuine, rather it's been negative, and reflecting. So something that I had to do this year was acknowledge like the growth that I had by being more productive when it comes to my business. Like I said, I could wake up at 5 p.m. and record a video if I choose to, or I can, have my OCD schedule, because you guys know I'm very structured when I am structured, of course. And sticking to that, waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning and having a routine, and realizing where I was last year and previous years and how it's affected me. Because when you practice self-acknowledgement, you're aware, and like practicing, it takes time, so you have to exercise. Like, I didn't just wake up one day and was just like, oh yeah, let me just go ahead and have all my ducks in a row. Like, no, I had to go through life. I had to be exposed to life. I had to suffer, good or bad, and realize that at the end of the day, that just like anybody else, and I always say comment down below, like, I didn't ask to be born, so, and I don't have no idea when I'm not going to be here anymore. So it's just like understanding how you feel when it comes to living your life. Like, nobody's gonna hold your hand and tell you when to get up. No one's gonna tell you to make your bed. Nobody's gonna, be there. You're gonna have people in your corner, of course, like your mom and dad, and the good people that I tell you guys to surround yourself with, to confine in. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to say, you know what, like, I don't feel good, and even though I'm not feeling good right now, that doesn't mean that I don't want to, feel better. Because everything, once you get to this recognition and realize you are at a self-acknowledgement with yourself, is a choice. So making decisions and choices, like I had to make certain decisions to improve my character as well as what I wanted for myself. So practicing Self-acknowledgement and acknowledging yourself is, speaking what you appreciate, learning to be present. And that's something that takes a while, but I realized for me, you guys, once you learn to be present, like, your life, I will say, will become a lot more understandable. And once you're able to understand like how you choose to perceive your life and how you choose to go and maintain and live your life, that also too will be very, I feel like, clear. And in order to be present though, you have to have been lost. Like, I had to be lost, you guys. I was lost up until the first 19 years of my life. It wasn't until 20 years old I had something happen, and ever since I was 20 years old, here I am now, 4 years later, going into the end of the next year, into the new year, realizing what I've been exposed to, how it made me feel, and reflecting from it. So you want to practice by, focusing on things that are positive to you. So making sure that you guys get a notebook, or you surround yourself with like-minded people. Or I have 2 tricks and tips that I'm starting to see a lot of people are doing as well. One is recording yourself. Like, listen to your thoughts. Like, you're like, record myself. Like, yeah, if you heard how you spoke, you would be amazed. Like, wow, this is how I feel. And because once again, people can only project and react from how they feel personally. So if you're saying negative things about yourself and others, I want you to record it and I want you to listen to it so you can realize, like, wow, like, this is coming from something. And everyone has suffered. People have PTSD, people have anxiety, people were depressed. Like, I had depression and I've suffered from anxiety. Like, nobody's perfect. And if anybody tries to make you feel like they have never been through anything, remove yourself. And that's another thing. Like, stop hanging around people who don't appreciate you or make you feel comfortable. Like, if you feel stuck and stiff to speak around certain people, remove yourself. I don't care if it's your mom, I don't care if it's your dog, I don't care if it's your best friend, your boyfriend. Like, if these people are not able to allow you to be comfortable with yourself, you don't need to be around them. And a lot of people are like, but Ty, I don't want to be lonely. Like, I don't want you to be lonely either, but it's a difference between being lonely and alone. Like, I love to be alone, and the more that I realize that being alone, the more comfortable I am with myself. So therefore I can, expand the relationships that are meant for me instead of hanging around people who I absolutely do not like, and vice versa, or like don't appreciate, because it's just like, what sense does it make for you to be around people you can't, be yourself or be vulnerable? Like, if I have a problem and I go tell someone and then 5 other people know my business, like, you don't want to surround yourself with those type of people. So like, for me, what I realized this entire year, for the past 10 months, I've been in isolation, and I've realized that I've outgrown a lot of relationships, and I'm extremely happy for myself. I don't have any negative energy towards anybody from my past, but in order to practice and exercise what I want for myself to be aware, like, you have to be able to put in the work. Like, it's a process. So like, exercising, that's like, if you exercised and wanted to work out, or if you're exercising to start a business, or regardless of where you're putting your time and energy to, knowing that it takes you to do it. So like, if you have a goal, let's just say in January for the month of 2021, like, up until now you wanted to work out for 10 months and lose, let's just say, 50 to 100 pounds. Like, are you willing to go to the gym for how many days, for how many hours and minutes to put in the work? Or knowing that when it comes to practicing, the more you hate, guys. So my camera on my other phone cut off. It is literally that time of the year for me to go ahead and get new phones. I've been an Apple user since 2013, and excuse me, I've had every single iPhone from the 5S and up. So from 2013, I had the 5S, I had the 6, I had the 7, I had the 8, I had the 10, I had the XR, I had the X Max. I'm currently on 11. So from 5S to 11. And I'm just so upset because I feel like, this is just my opinion. Once again, it has nothing to do with the video. But every single time they release a new iPhone, like, I feel like there have been technical difficulties on my other phone, because I've been having this phone and been recording off of this phone for 2 years now, you guys. So the fact that now all of a sudden, every time I try to record a video for you guys, it just cuts off. And you guys know me, like, very structured. So my video cut off, so now this is just a random clip. So towards the end of this video, I do apologize, but basically I believe what I was saying was that when you practice something, and the more you practice, the more comfortable you become with doing what it is. So for example, like how I had to learn to be more comfortable with practicing posting videos more consistently when I first started my channel to now, like when I first did my 100 videos to now having over 300 and like 15 plus videos like by myself. Like it is a challenge, but what I've realized, when you practice something that you appreciate and you enjoy, it is no longer you, I would say for me, like no longer a habit or a work, or it's more of like a hobby or a passion. And I feel like the more passionate you are when it comes to yourself and whatever it is that you want to achieve, rather it's healing or just learning a new skill, is going to be very, very beneficial for you. So how do you practice self-acknowledgement? By taking your time, by self-reflecting. And recently, like I said, the past couple videos that I made strategically for you guys are explaining that, because it is a process. Like once again, if you know, the earlier you are, the more exposed you are to your awareness, the better. But if you have no idea and you're just trying to figure out like, okay, necessarily what it is that you want to do, you have to practice. And I know you guys heard that before. Like you guys see I have my all of this here, my handy dandy notebook of, you know, what I need to do and writing it down. Like the more you do practice something, you know, the better, I see this, the better you're able to improve yourself. And once again, like it's your attitude. So I'm going to say that as well, and I'm going to end this video because I don't know how long this video is now since it cut off and I had to switch phones. But it's your attitude. It is your attitude. Like how you are able to handle a situation and your attitude. Like the situation is going to happen regardless. In some situations you may or may not have control over. How you choose to feel and how you choose to respond is going to determine, one, the likelihood of your reality, as well as how you're going to interpret it. So if you're able to apply pressure or handle pressure, because things are going to happen to us in life, you know, ever since we were born, it's not like we can go back excuse me, we can't go back until the day we were born. Like I was born in the 90s. That's been over 20 something years. I can't go back and be like, you know, well, I don't want to be here, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, me and you, like, you didn't ask to be here. So realizing how you can move forward and learning and growing from what you need to do. So once again, how do you practice self-acknowledgement? Take your time and be mindful of what you've been exposed to. Value your experiences, whether they were productive, beneficial, negative, positive. Acknowledge them. So verbally write them down. Verbally express yourself. Write down how you feel. Surround yourself with like-minded people, and remove yourself from people who do not serve you. If they're not financing you, feeding you, helping you grow, aligning you, don't have nothing productive or positive to say about you, why would you want to, you know, surround yourself with them? And you may think that may be challenging, but the more you practice and you realize and observe who's for you and who's not, I feel like you will really appreciate it and it will help you. So until next time, you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys live your life and don't forget to stay YOLO.